You are blind. You are all blind. I will tear the Nexus points apart and end this accursed storm once and for all.
Greetings and citations, everyone. Oh, Lothraxion, the bleached, light-infused Dreadlord, oh so loyal to the light, to the bitter end. Your tragic end during the Nexus Point Zenith dungeon was truly a tragedy. May the light carry your flame, and may you rest in peace.
Got him! Got him!
You really didn't think I was gonna commit to that bit the entire video, did you? Nope, not me, baby. To tell you the truth, Lothraxion's supposed death and betrayal was a long time coming, in my eyes, at least. The story of Lothraxion is plain to see. He's a Dreadlord, and despite his obsession with the light, he's still privy to betrayal, as it is their #1 quirk. Much like Veramothras prior to the battle for the Undercity, Lothraxion betrayed our cause and went AWOL, trying to destroy the Nexus Point Zenith, which would have obliterated Silvermoon in the process. And that would have been no bueno, obviously. I had suggested that he would have met his fate at the hands of Denathrius, the creator of the Dreadlords, but ultimately we saw him bite it during the events of Voidstorm. So bent and willing to his fate and the belief that the light was the only truth on this void-scarred planet, that all other alternatives, the idea that the Void, or rather Decimus, would actually be telling them the truth could never cross his devoted and numbskulled mind, even remotely. He would sooner die than accept that the Void was right, and that the light was wrong. Well, who's the fool now, huh? I'm gonna be very real with everyone here. Lothraxion being a one-man army and doing this is pretty metal. This brings a whole new level of power to the playing field, especially as we're in this apocalyptic confrontation with the Void. Though, this does beg the question, why didn't he do this sooner though? He had so many opportunities to take out the Void in one fell swoop. Well, more of a light swoop, really. This is the question I'm going to be demanding from Turalyon for a while. Well, I would if he was still here. Hope it doesn't take another 1,000 years. Ya boy's ready to throw hands with him. Definitely. After zapping Lothraxion like a fly to one of those electric lights, we get minimal dialogue regarding his death. In fact, very few words are said in passing about him from Illyria, Eretor, Turalyon, and even Xal'atath. I mean, really, you could have added a lot more dialogue and emotion into this moment. We could have seen 1 or 2 additional stay a while and listens to supplement the Vanguard's loss. It felt like the story was milking that sword wound Eretor received from his father, all the while protecting Zul'jin. Granted, it was a pivotal moment within the story, but we're really beating a dead horse with us being reminded of it at every turn. I feel that the main players, the Windrunners and Voidstorm, had one huge underreaction to losing Lothraxion. Personally, I feel like shouting, "What the hell?" from the rooftops, and actually giving a damn about Lothraxion. Hence the reason for this video. But maybe it's intentional. Maybe the fear of losing the Sunwell and Silvermoon just hinders far more on the important side. Though Lothraxion getting very little much of a wink from his buddy Turalyon, I guess just further proves that Turalyon is a horrible friend. Man had very little reaction to Khadgar's fake-out demise, too. I could go on and on about how Turalyon being a shitty person, despite standing for everything, just cuz, ironically, but that's for another video. But do not expect me to not dunk on him regardless. But I digress. The fact that Lothraxion received no fanfare or reaction to his demise seems to be intended. And you may be asking, what does that mean? Well, friend, it means that Lothraxion isn't exactly gone for good. At the end of the day, Lothraxion is a Dreadlord. Sure, he is a light-infused Dreadlord, but a spade's a spade, and back in his heyday of being Team Burning Legion / Team Denathrius, he, like all demons, returned to the Twisting Nether when he died, because he consumed the Fel. It's a little trick that they have up their sleeve to sort of cheat death. Like Doctor Who, whenever they fall down a flight of stairs onto a spike and are forced to regenerate into another British actor. Or so I've heard. And of course, guile and betrayal being their other gimmick. Now, of course, this begs the question, since he consumed the light and is no longer really fellified, does that mean he's not respawning? Well, I don't think he's going to respawn to the Twisting Nether. I think it's implied that he can no longer reconstitute within the Nether since he's gone and drank the light juice version of Gamersups. Please sponsor me. However, Dreadlords aren't Fel creations either. In fact, they were created by Denathrius, Lord of Revendreth. So, technically they're aligned with death, they simply warp themselves intentionally to join the ranks of demons by consuming the Fel. Dreadlords are consistently hopping on all sorts of sides for their own benefit. Sargeras's encounter with the Dreadlords was them sucking off. Ayo? Anyways, draining from the void of an old god-infested world, spurring Sargeras on his very burning crusade of wanting to wipe out all life and reset things on just how disordered and corrupted it had become. Clearly, Dreadlords were aligned with the void at the start of this journey, but really were only devoted to their maker Denathrius. They set things in motion to cause a war between the demons and the void, and really everyone. And we've just yet to really see the Dreadlords ally with anyone, well, except for Fel and Death. It's clear to see that the Dreadlords only serve at their best interest, which can spark another argument about free will. But that's neither here nor there. Lothraxion was the exception to being another Dreadlord that succumbed to the Fel to ally with Sargeras in the long run. His allegiance to the light, which we believe was a complete farce, doesn't seem to be the case. Seemingly. Not ruling it out that he tricked himself into being Team Light, but was always Team Death. But for right now, I do believe he was truly devoted to the light, and only the light. And if void beings can reconstitute from within their little void realm, similar to Dementius, a void lord, and if beings like demons can return from the Twisting Nether, what's stopping Dreadlords from respawning in the Shadowlands, or, more appropriately, Lothraxion respawning in the very realm of light itself? Not only them, but Titans too. Titans return to their own realm and can be reborn if they die. We've seen the same during the events of Antorus. Hell, even Norganon has helped expedite the process a bit. Old gods also seemingly go back to the void when they're quote-unquote killed. The argument here is that Lothraxion is going to return somehow, and while the Shadowlands could be an interesting thread to tug back on if he was a servant to Denathrius, especially with what we learned via Sylvanas' discoveries during her own penance in the Maw, I think it's far more fitting for us to be seeing Lothraxion emerge again from the realm of light, especially with the light and void clashing a lot right now in Midnight. As that then brings on how many Naru, or rather the Naru, Zira, that Illidan killed, coming back. And that's itself a problem. We have not just one entity of the light that feels betrayed by mortals, but two. It is 100% going to be a huge issue when we get there. We are about to see an army of the light not held back by the Draenei or a human, but rather all united under one belief. A crusade without any remorse for slaughtering anyone that doesn't align with their truth. And when the light has had enough of being ignored and has had enough of being killed time and time again, you know shit is going to hit the fan. And just like all various cosmic forces, we're going to see the light make its own attempt to rip Azeroth from the Titan's stranglehold and take it for itself, warring fiercely like we've never seen before against the Void, blinded by their faith and blinded by the light. It would be a really hype moment that we get to see the Vanguard, now amassed with almost an infinite army, joined by the Arathi Empire, Yrel and her Lightbound, and perhaps more to join their ranks in a climactic showdown that will catapult us into the events for Last Titan. And who better than to lead that crusade than the fallen Dreadlord himself? I think Lothraxion will be leading the charge for the light, and will most certainly want payback for all the times that Azeroth has ignored the light's wishes. And with that, those are my thoughts on the matter. What do you all think? Do you think Lothraxion will be making a comeback for Team Light or Team Death? Or do you think his chapter is over? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I've been Chronos, your lovely time demigod and host. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos like this one in the future. Be sure to join the Discord for more discussions with myself and the community, and a special thanks to the patrons and YouTube community members to help keep this channel alive and well. But until next time, my friends, bye!